Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the session. There was a bit issue with my mic, that's why I was able to start with the mic on time. So, Shubhani ma'am, I have given that we can start the session now.
Okay, good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
Should we start the session? If you raise any query about the last session or about the last lectures we have discussed, then you can ask me. No doubts?
I have a query about the ETH that we were sending to the variable bed. I did not understand where did the Ethereum go. Like, did it go into a particular memory and got stored or something like that?
About it, ethers that we have sent.
We use the payable thing, right? When
Yeah,
we place
payable
the bed.
function.
Yeah,
Payable
we're using
function.
the
Yeah.
payable function. So
Yes.
when we tried to bid, we were deducted off 10 ethers, right?
Yeah.
So where did those 10 ethers go, since we did not mention any destination address? And I just wanted to know, even if we have not mentioned any destination address, so for the timing, do they go inside the memory of a particular variable, or what's the logic behind it?
I already asked you that it is not like sending those ethers to anyone, any destination. It is just like a place a bid. It is stored in your block or in your transaction where the transaction of data is stored.
Okay, got it.
Okay. Okay, it is not like that we have sending 10 ethers to any other destination. We didn't do like this. We just like place a bid, like, okay. Any other doubt? So, okay. In today's lecture, we'll discuss the function visibility. Okay. So we have 4 type of function visibilities, like public, private, internal, and external. Till now, we only use the public functions by mention the keyword public. Clear? So today we'll discuss the other 3 types of function visibility: private, internal, and external. So just brief introduction. Firstly, we just brief introduction about these 4 function visibilities. Okay, if you mention the state variables under the just a minute. See my screen? Everybody see my screen?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, if you mention the variables under some specific functions under the function, okay, if you don't mention any visibility before that function, before that variable, suppose like, just suppose here we mention uint value, and here we declare one function, name, and suppose get function. So, and here we declare value 1. Okay, the default visibility of this variable that is defined under the function is public. Okay, and the variables that defined under the contract is visibility by default is private. Here, if you mention here public, then this variable is accessible by public. Okay, if you doesn't mention anything here, then that means the value variable state variable is private in visible specifier. Okay, and if you mention here as by default it is public, the variables that mentioned under the function as by default public. If you want to declare as a private, then you should write here private. Here, and the internal visibility means available in it means that available in derived contract also. We cannot find that variables in the same contract. It is derived, it is used in the derived contract. Okay, the contract that is derived from, suppose we have two contracts A and B. If the contract B is derived from A, then we can use the internal variables or internal functions. Okay, external functions that can be accessed by other contracts. Suppose A and B are two contracts. External functions, if you mention the external function in A, then you can access in contract B also. Clear? So today we'll discuss about these four function visibilities. Okay, the first starting from the simple contract. Contract name is simple. Okay, so we mentioned here one variable u int A is equal to value is 8. Here, private by default in nature. Okay, because it is defined under the contract. It is a state variable, so it is by nature private, by default private in nature. Okay, and other one is u int. If you want to specify the public nature, so you just add one keyword, that is public. Suppose the variable is x is equal to 10. Clear? A is private in nature and X is public in nature. If you run this contract, you can see that here only X is no A, because A is private. Okay, this window, this left side window is, we can say that it is outside. It is whole inside, that is contract written in the inside window, and it is outside. That means it is a we can say that it मतलब एक अलग पार्ट है, मतलब ये आउटसाइड है. मतलब अगर पब्लिक होगा या एक्सटर्नल हम मेंशन करेंगे वेरिएबल्स या फंक्शंस को, only that functions are accessible by this window. फिर deploy and deploy window accessible only external and public variables or functions. Here, so here one function here, function get x. Simple. We know that public, this function is public in nature because, why? Because we write the keyword public here. Okay, so public view returns it in uint form, because if you want to access x, then x is in uint form, so x value is returns uint form. Return x. Here, if you deploy this contract, you can see that two variables get x and x. X is 10. Here also x is 10. It is just to retrieve the value from the state variable that is defined in public nature. Here, if you don't
Ma'am, I have a question.
Hmm.
I'm really sorry for disturbing. So, you're saying that some of the we can declare some of the variables public and some of the variables private.
Private,
So,
okay.
the private ones, they do not show up in the window just next to you, but will they show in the source code when we look at on Etherscan or something like that?
Yes. I'll explain right now.
Okay.
I'll explain right now. Okay. So here we not define any keyword public. Okay. That means it is private in nature. Okay. Here we define just A. Okay. So what is, if you deploy this contract, you can see that get x. The x is 8 because here we return the value. So private variables are accessing through the get function. Okay, so if the state variables, if you mention the state variables and public in nature, then it has already has get function. That means it is inbuilt get function because it is already shown in your deploy window. But if you mentioned it here as a private, then you use get function for assessing that variable. Clear? What is the difference between these two?
I got your point a little bit, but I'm sharing a link in the chat. This is something that I want to ask.
Just wait a minute. Yeah. What you want to ask me through this link?
If you have opened the link, it most probably shows you the contract source code. And so, for example, if I put some sort of a variable that is private variable, will that be shown in this particular source code?
Yeah, it is shown in your source code, but it is not shown in your public in your outside your window. This is all your source code. Okay, you can see it here that this is private, this is public, but it cannot be shown in your this window, deployment window.
It will not be functional. Okay, correct.
Okay. So पब्लिक वेरिएबल्स इनबिल्ट गेट फंक्शन उनके पास होता है. अगर हमने प्राइवेट फंक्शंस को एक्सेसिबल करना है तो हमें उनके लिए गेट फंक्शन की जरूरत होगी उनको एक्सेस करने के लिए. क्लियर? So we define one more function f1. Okay. Simply public view return. It returns the value uint. We just create one or two functions and we'll discuss how we can use one function into another, how we can deploy one function into another function. Okay, here return x. Yeah. So if you deploy this contract, you can see it here. F1 get x and x shows the value 10 and get x shows the value of a and f1 shows the value of x. So here we write a. There's no confusion. So one more function f2, that is private in nature. View returns some uint value return here. One more variable we can define it here. Public p is equal to 5. So here return b. So this is a private function. This cannot be accessed by this window. Okay, and this is only used for this contract. We can use this function and retrieve the value b and used it in other functions. It is for that purpose. This function is for what purpose? It can be used in other functions by calling this function. Like suppose we define some more function, that is function 3. That is public in nature, view returns uint suppose here we declare one variable a1 and a1 is equal to calling the function 2. Okay, and return what return is a. Here if you assign a1, if you mention the data type of a1 is int, then it shows some error because f2 function is of returns the value in uint form, so it must be also in uint data type. Here a1, so in this in function 3 we call function 2. Okay, that is private in nature. So private functions are used why we are declaring the private functions? It is used for using within the smart contracts, retrieve some value and used it in other functions. Okay, so if you deploy this contract, you can see it here only f1 and f3, no, not f2, because f2 is in private in nature, f1 and f3 is public in nature. If you click it on x is 10, get a is 8, f3, suppose first f1 is return x, that is 10. Okay, the b value is 5, and if you click on f3 is 5 because in f3 the return value is b is 5, so it is stored in a1 and f3 function returns the value a1, so it also shows the value of b. Clear? Clear the everybody clears the nature of private function. Now we discuss the internal functions. So one more function will declare function f4. Okay, it is internal in nature. Internal view returns. So it also returns the uint. So return something x. So it is internal in nature. So we cannot call it from outside. The outside window is deployment window. So if you deploy this contract, you can see it here that there is no f4 function here because it is internal in nature. Okay, internal functions are called in derived contracts. the contract which is derived from this simple contract where we use internal functions. Okay, the value that is returned from this internal function, we can use it in which contract? Which is derived from this simple contract. Suppose this is the end of contract simple. Suppose we define one more, we'll define one more contract, that is contract B. Clear? Sorry. C, it is derived, is a keyword, that is C is derived from simple. Suppose A. We rename this contract name to A. Simple name. Okay. So contract C is derived from A contract. So here, suppose here uint public. Suppose one variable is xx. It calls the function f4 because f4 is internal in nature and internal functions are used in derived contracts. Okay. So if you clear this screen, clear this, and so here we can see that here two contracts A and C. Two contracts shown. We have two contracts. The first contract is A and the second one is C. If you deploy the C contract, then you should select here C and deploy. Okay. Here you can see that XX. Okay, if you click it on XX, the XS retrieves the value F4. F4 is X. X is 10. So it shows the value 10. Clear? Private functions are used within the हाँ जी
मैम इंटरनल फंक्शंस को जिस कॉन्ट्रैक्ट में हमने डिफाइन किया है वहां पर भी यूज कर सकते हैं?
नहीं. I've already told you that private functions are used within the contracts, but internal functions are used in the derived contracts, that is derived from that contract.
Okay.
Okay. Any other doubt? Private and internal?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Now we'll discuss the external function. So if you suppose F5, if you write external visibility, so view returns uint it also returns the value b, suppose. So external functions are called by this remix, this outside window, okay? But it is not called by another contracts. It is called by outside, okay? Remix can call, but it is not used in another context. मतलब ये नहीं है कि आप इससे यहाँ ऐसे F5 मतलब कर लोगे. This is not possible. This is an external function. How we can use it in derived contracts, we'll discuss. So here, okay, here firstly we A public. This means contract A. It is public in nature and we show the state variable name A, small a. Okay, हम यहाँ एक नया variable create करेंगे, that is new A, so that we can use this external function. So uint public, suppose x3 is equal to, this is the small a, so A dot f of 5. Here expected name. Here we have details. Capital E. Expected type name. Okay, this contact is A. So A is C. Derived from A. So A is public in nature. The A. Why is it showing error? Just leave this. Discuss. We'll discuss later. I'll check and see what is the error. So one more contract we drive. Contract B. Here we learn how we deploy contract A in contract B. Okay. A contract is this, B contract we have written now, and C is this. And here we learn how we contract A deploys in B. So A public. I'll check this, how we use this external, and we'll discuss. Contract A is equal to U. I think I have found this. This error, I think. I think I found this. Yeah. Now we discuss this. Yeah. So how we use the external functions in a derived contract. So this is the name of the contract where we derived C contract. Okay, this is the specifier, visibility specifier, public, and this is a new variable name A, and what we create a new contract from A contract. Okay, new derived contract. And here we mention uint public xc variable, and here we call the external function. If you run this, simply deploy. We deploy the A. Sorry. And again, we deploy C. Deploy. If you see, the here is x3. If you call this, the x3 is 5, and 5 function returns the value B. Clear? How we call the external and internal functions? It is called in derived contracts. Clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now we learn how we deploy another contract from the deployed contract. Our deployed contract is A, and we generate a B contract. Just deployed from A. So A is a contract public, and this is a variable name new a. Okay, and another one is mentioned the variable name, state variables defined under the contract B. Suppose XX. Already mentioned the XX, triple X. Okay, the here we rename this like A1. We have not used, we have used already used A1. Okay, so A11 state variable dot function call. Which function do you want to call in contract B? Suppose we call the function F1 because it is public in nature. Here, so if you deploy the contract B, so deploy, you can see it here, A1 1 and triple X. Okay, if you click on triple X, the value is 10 because triple X calls the function F1. F1 returns the value X. The X is 10. So this function returns the value F1. Clear? And if you mention one more, here we mention, suppose we call the function that is private in nature. The private function is F2. If you call this here, X4 is equal to A11 dot F2. F2 is a private now. Here shows some error. The error is F2 not found or not visible after argument dependent lookup in contract A, because F2 is private in nature. It is not lookup in your public window, so we cannot run by using the other contract that is deploying the contract A. Clear? So we use the two variables. Here we deploy contract 4, which is internal in nature. Here we deploy contract 5. Okay. Which function is internal in nature also shows some error that not visible, not found or not visible because it is internal in nature. Here. So here we also. So here also. Clear? So we call only those functions in other contracts which are public in nature in that contract. Okay, if you're deploying the contract B from A, then you can call only those functions which are public in nature and defined in contract A. Then you can use those functions in B. Okay, external and internal functions are accessible only in derived contracts, not in deploying contracts. Okay, if it is derived from that contract, then you can call internal and external functions. Otherwise, you can call only public functions. Clear? Any doubt regarding the function visibilities? We have discussed the 4 types of visibility: internal, external, public, and private. If you have any doubt in this smart contract, then you can tell me or you can raise a query. I think we have discussed all the data types and basic data types of the Solidity contract. By using these data types, you can build any smart contracts. Okay, using these data types, structure, enums, mappings, state variables, functions, constructor, you can build your own smart contract regarding any application. If you have any doubt in these basic data types, then you can tell me.
No, ma'am.
So if anyone wants to know regarding any something more, then you can also tell me that. I will explain you that particular thing, because the syllabus for your implementation part is only up to that. The basic data types, how we use in smart contracts, and how we use to build a smart contract. Anything in your mind you can.
Ma'am, can you explain mapping once again?
Mapping. Okay. So we just made a smart contract for that. Okay. Suppose we have one state variable is owner. Okay. Or we can say that it is bid. So we define it here that bid returns the value in address form. Okay, but if you want bid variable returns the value in another form instead of address, then you use mapping. Mapping, this is a keyword, and within brackets we want address converted into that is equal to sign and then greater than, okay, into uint. This bids. Or we can say it here no, here we different variable use. In this mapping, what we want to ask in this smart contract using this line, we want that we give input in address form and want the output in uint form using the same variable bids. Here, this is a different thing. This is a variable that is in address data type. Okay, this line means that this is the meaning of this line here. This line means that you give input in address form and want the output in uint form. Suppose we describe a function here like function send ether, the same payable function, public in nature, payable because we want to send some ethers, we want some value. So here bids is that keyword. Here we mention message.sender. Message represents the message.sender represents the address of that sender who sends or who deploys the contract is equal to message.value. Message.value means the value that defines the how much ether wants to send. Clear? So here we give the input in address form and want the output in uint form. Here, so when we deploy this smart contract, you can see that send ether. So here we just choose one message dot sender. This represents the message dot sender. Message dot sender means who is sending the message, or who is sending that particular transaction. Okay, and how much amount wants to pay, you wants to send, suppose 10 ether. This represent this value. Okay, message or sender is the account, so we give input in the form of account. We give input from the address and we give output in the form of value. So here if you deploy this, where it is, sorry, deploy this, send ether karna tha. One more time we deploy this contract. Okay, here we choose another address and wants to send 10 ethers and send ether. It is mined successfully. So here the use of mapping is we convert the address format into uint format by using the variable bits. Or here we can also use some other, like we can just give the input in uint form and want the output in bool form. Anything you want. Yeah, and gives the input in bool form, gives the input in suppose string form and wants the output in uint form. It is not like that only address is converted into uint. We can change it into any data type, from one data type to another.
Okay, ma'am, got it. And here, what is payable? Is it a function
Yeah.
or this?
It is a keyword. Yeah, it is a function. Table function is used if you want to send some ethers. If you use value now, then automatically includes this function. So we must use this function, this keyword in your function. Table function is used for when you are transferring or when you are sending some ethers.
Okay, ma'am, got it.
Yeah. Any other doubt? I think Sakshi ma'am is here or not? Oh, I think she's not present. She has some problem with her mic. So if you have any doubt, any query regarding regarding this smart contracts or in your mind, you can tell me without any hesitation, so that आपको भी clear हो और मुझे भी और ज़्यादा clear हो smart contracts के बारे में. These all are basic things. By using these things, you build any smart contract regarding any application. We just think about that, what type of state variables you want, what type of functions you want in your smart contract, what type of something you want private functions or you want public functions, and you want structure or you want mapping enums, which type of states in your smart contracts. So everything is dependent on these basic data types. If you know, or if you clear how these data types can be used in smart contract, then you can build any smart contract. This language is just similar to C language. Okay, the logics are very similar to C. If else, for loop, everything is similar to C. The one more thing, modifier. I just share my screen. Everybody see my screen?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. We discussed in the last lecture that require. Remember?
Yes, ma'am.
Require. What is the meaning of require? If it is must statement, that means if you want that before the function works, this statement must run. Suppose we use this require here now. Suppose in function get x, okay, public view returns. Here we just want x. Viewing public x is equal to 5. Okay. Okay, here we find address public. So here we define this. Suppose we write it in a every function, that every function is executed only when the function is executed by the owner who deploys the contract. So we instead of writing this multiple times, we use modifier. The name of modifier is pose only owner. Okay, this and bracket starts. Here we define the require. Require is message dot sender is equal to owner. Here, and after that this underscore and then this. This means that we write the something some line of codes. So here instead of this require line, we just add here only modifier name, that is only owner. Clear? This means that this requirement is necessary before this function works. So we can define like that also. Instead of writing this line multiple times or in every function, we can define it in modifier and use the name of that modifier in this function line, function syntax. Clear? Clear this? we just run this deploy. Owner is okay. Here we didn't mention the constructor where we define the owner is equal to message.sender. Constructor, it is public in nature. Here we define the owner is equal to message.sender. That means who is deploying this contract. So deploy. If you click on owner, then you can see that 0x617, the same address who deploys the contract. Clear? This is the function of owner. If you want to click on getX, this is retrieving the value of x from the state variable x. If you click, okay, if you suppose here this is the function, that is 1AE deploys the contract. Okay, owner is 1AE. Okay, and we choose another account, and if you click on or if you run this function getX, it doesn't work. Because why? Because we put some requirement here, that is must be done by only the owner. Okay, if you run from any other account, it shows error. Here if you run it using 01A, which account? 01A is this. Then this function is done successfully. Then this call is done successfully. Clear? How we define modifiers in your smart contract? Any doubt regarding this?
No, ma'am.
I think it is up to all that. All the basic data types we have discussed already. If you have any query, then you can. Otherwise, we'll close the session. And Sakshi ma'am. Can you hear me, Sakshi ma'am? I think Sakshi ma'am's mic is not working. Have you learned from this session, this smart contract session? Is it useful for you people? A little bit clear.
Yes, ma'am.
Just wait for 2 or 3 minutes. I'll call you Sakshi ma'am and get back to you that attendance link and all. Okay. Anyone contact the Sakshi ma'am?